Imagine possessing the ability to subtly guide anyone's thoughts, making them embrace your ideas effortlessly, and even encouraging them to act according to your desires, all without them ever realizing they are under your influence. While it may sound like something pulled straight from the realm of science fiction, the reality is that this skill truly exists, and only a select few individuals understand how to wield it effectively. Instant hypnosis is not about exerting absolute control over another person's mind. Rather, it is about seamlessly accessing their subconscious in such a way that they remain completely unaware they are being influenced. Master communicators, captivating leaders, and even exceptionally persuasive salespeople utilize these psychological techniques daily to great effect. Today, you will uncover the fundamental methods behind hypnotizing someone in a swift and efficient manner. However, before we dive into these powerful insights, take a moment to type in the comments, "My mind is powerful and influential." By affirming this statement, you are already programming your own mind to assimilate this knowledge more effectively. Now, prepare yourself to unravel one of the most profound and intriguing secrets of human cognition. Hypnosis has been a subject of fascination for scientists, psychologists, and even those who delve into spiritual disciplines for centuries. Yet, what most people fail to realize is that hypnosis is not confined to theatrical performances or alternative healing practices. In reality, hypnotic states occur naturally in everyday life, during conversations, while engaging with advertisements, and even through the way we process and interpret information. The renowned researcher Jacobo Grinberg, one of the greatest minds in the study of human consciousness, extensively examined how our perception of reality is shaped by mental structures. He theorized that the mind could be conditioned to accept external suggestions without conscious awareness, as long as the precise frequency of suggestion was achieved. Other notable experts, such as Milton Erickson, widely regarded as the father of modern hypnotherapy, demonstrated how subtle linguistic patterns and carefully structured phrases could induce hypnotic states without the subject realizing they had entered a trance. When properly executed, instant hypnosis bypasses the critical faculties of the conscious mind and communicates directly with the subconscious. This mechanism significantly reduces mental resistance, making it possible to persuade, influence, and even alter behaviors in an expedited manner. However, in order to truly master this technique, it is crucial to comprehend how the human mind processes suggestions and, more importantly, how to implement these strategies at the perfect moment for maximum impact. Now that you understand that hypnosis is a scientifically examined and well-documented phenomenon, let us explore its inner workings and how you can apply it to your daily interactions. Many people mistakenly perceive hypnosis as a mystical or supernatural occurrence, but in truth, it is a completely natural state of mind. Have you ever driven along a familiar route and suddenly realized you had reached your destination without recalling every turn and detail of the journey? Or perhaps you have been so engrossed in a captivating book or film that you momentarily lost awareness of time passing. These are examples of naturally occurring hypnotic states, where the conscious mind temporarily disengages and the subconscious assumes a more dominant role. Instant hypnosis is an advanced technique designed to induce this trance-like state rapidly and almost imperceptibly. Unlike traditional hypnosis, which may require extended periods of deepening relaxation, instant hypnosis operates within mere seconds. It exploits a fundamental psychological principle known as pattern disruption. The human brain is structured to function through habitual patterns, relying on predictability and repetition to navigate the world. When these established patterns are unexpectedly disrupted, the mind experiences a brief moment of confusion, during which it instinctively seeks a new frame of reference. At this precise moment, the subconscious becomes particularly susceptible to external suggestions. If the suggestion is seamlessly introduced, the individual may enter a hypnotic state without ever realizing what has transpired. One of the most well-documented examples of this principle is the renowned handshake induction developed by Milton Erickson. This technique involves initiating a conventional handshake and abruptly interrupting the gesture at a critical moment while delivering a carefully crafted hypnotic command. Because the brain anticipates the completion of the handshake, the sudden disruption momentarily halts conscious thought, creating an opening for the subconscious to absorb the suggestion without resistance. Another crucial factor in successfully implementing instant hypnosis is the presence of authority and confidence. When you exhibit unwavering certainty while applying hypnotic techniques, the likelihood of the subject accepting your suggestions increases significantly. In ambiguous or uncertain scenarios, the human brain instinctively looks for external guidance to determine how to respond. By adopting a commanding presence and projecting confidence, you naturally position yourself as a reliable point of reference, making it far easier to steer the subject's perceptions and behaviors. However, instant hypnosis is not solely reliant on physical gestures. The power of language and structured verbal patterns can also serve as highly effective hypnotic tools. Statements that create anticipation, followed by an intentional pattern interruption, can be particularly potent. For example, you might say, "Have you ever noticed how some people can completely relax just by listening to a soothing, melodic voice?" As soon as this idea is introduced, the listener's mind begins engaging with the concept of relaxation. By following up with a suggestion such as, "And the more you focus on that feeling, the easier it becomes to enter that calm, comfortable state right now," the individual may unconsciously slip into a mild trance. The human mind consists of two principal components, the conscious and the subconscious. The conscious mind is analytical, rational, and responsible for logical decision-making, whereas the subconscious is emotional, instinctive, and highly receptive to suggestion. During hypnosis, the conscious mind temporarily relaxes, granting direct access to the subconscious, where suggestions can be implanted with minimal resistance. Hypnosis is effective because the subconscious does not differentiate between imagination and reality. Consider this. If you close your eyes and vividly imagine holding a fresh lemon, feeling its textured surface, inhaling its sharp citrus aroma, and then biting into it, your body might react by salivating, despite the fact that no actual lemon is present. This occurs because the subconscious processes sensory experiences as though they are real, responding accordingly. This principle is precisely what makes instant hypnosis such a powerful tool. When an individual enters a receptive state, any well-crafted suggestion presented to their subconscious is treated as reality, prompting corresponding emotions, behaviors, and even physiological responses. This technique can be harnessed to evoke specific emotional states, influence decision-making processes, and even alter one's sensory perceptions. One of the most striking real-world examples of subconscious influence is the widely studied placebo effect. Scientific research has repeatedly demonstrated that if a person firmly believes they are ingesting a potent medication, their body can exhibit physiological responses akin to those induced by an actual drug, despite the substance being nothing more than a sugar pill. This remarkable phenomenon underscores the profound connection between the mind and body and highlights the extent to which perception shapes reality. Hypnotic suggestion operates under a similar mechanism. When an individual hears a phrase such as, "The more you focus on my words, the more deeply relaxed you become," their subconscious begins to transform that statement into a tangible experience. Similarly, physical commands, such as, "Your hand is becoming lighter," as if it were lifting effortlessly on its own, can lead to genuine, involuntary movements. Mastering instant hypnosis requires practice, awareness, and a deep understanding of human psychology. Once you refine your ability to subtly access the subconscious mind, you will gain an extraordinary tool for communication, influence, and personal empowerment. If an individual is in a state of receptivity, their subconscious can assimilate the suggestion and manifest that physical sensation. Another highly effective approach involves the use of embedded suggestions. Rather than explicitly commanding, "Sleep now," a skilled hypnotist might seamlessly incorporate the suggestion into an ordinary conversation, such as, many individuals find that when they momentarily close their eyes and take a deep, slow breath, a profound sensation of relaxation washes over them. And perhaps, even now, you're beginning to experience that soothing sensation. These kinds of suggestions are particularly powerful because they circumvent the natural resistance of the conscious mind. Instead of coming across as a direct order, they appear to emerge as an organic thought within the person's mind, significantly increasing their effectiveness. Now that you comprehend how the subconscious mind is influenced by suggestion, we can delve into the most intriguing part, the practical techniques that enable you to hypnotize individuals without them being consciously aware of it. Having grasped the immense influence of the subconscious, let's dive deeper into specific strategies that allow you to subtly and effectively guide someone's mind. The principle of confusion. The human brain constantly seeks recognizable patterns to interpret and navigate the world around it. When confronted with an unexpected element, the mind momentarily enters a state of disorientation, making it especially susceptible to suggestion. To leverage this principle, introduce an unexpected stimulus into your interaction. For instance, during a handshake, just as you are about to release your grip, lightly touch the person's forearm while confidently stating, "Isn't that fascinating?" This minor yet deliberate disruption in the typical flow of interaction creates a fleeting moment of openness, during which suggestions can be more readily accepted by the subconscious. The hypnotic voice technique. The way you modulate your voice has a direct impact on a person's emotional and cognitive state. To induce a hypnotic state, employ a slightly slower speech rhythm with intentional pauses placed strategically between phrases. Your tone should be engaging yet natural, subtly guiding the listener's thoughts without them consciously recognizing the influence. For example, if someone appears tense or overwhelmed, you might say in a calm and soothing tone, "Have you ever noticed that sometimes, when you take a slow, deep breath and gently release it, a wonderful feeling of ease starts spreading through your body?" As they hear this, they may instinctively mimic the suggestion, unconsciously slipping into a more relaxed state. The power of negative suggestion. A peculiar trait of the human mind is that when instructed not to think about something, it inevitably does the opposite. This psychological quirk can be harnessed to implant hypnotic suggestions without triggering resistance. For instance, saying, "Don't think about how incredibly relaxed your body would feel right now," paradoxically causes the brain to conjure up exactly that sensation. Without realizing it, the individual begins experiencing relaxation simply because the suggestion has been framed in a way that their mind cannot ignore. The emotional anchoring technique. The subconscious mind continuously forms associations between emotions and specific external stimuli, such as sounds, physical touch, or particular words. You can create a hypnotic anchor by linking a specific emotional state to a particular gesture or phrase. For instance, if someone is laughing and experiencing joy, gently placing a hand on their shoulder while saying, "Remember this feeling," can establish a subconscious link between the touch, the phrase, and the emotion. Later, repeating the same physical cue and words can automatically reactivate the positive state, making them feel good without even knowing why. The principle of gradual acceptance. People are more likely to accept a suggestion when led through a sequence of progressively agreeable statements. Initiating with obvious and indisputable facts paves the way for deeper influence. For example, by saying, "You can hear my voice, you can feel the air around you, and you can notice the rhythm of your own breathing," you are establishing a pattern of agreement. As their mind acknowledges these obvious truths without resistance, they become more inclined to accept the subsequent statement. And as you notice these things, you may find yourself relaxing more deeply. Subtle hypnosis in everyday life. With these techniques in hand, you can already begin applying subtle hypnosis in daily interactions. Now, let's explore how hypnosis can be employed to subtly influence and persuade people in various social and professional situations. The examples discussed may appear simple or even trivial, but do not underestimate their power. Those who master these techniques wield an extraordinary ability to shape thoughts, influence emotions, and even subtly guide decisions. Hypnosis extends far beyond mere entertainment. It plays a crucial role in political rhetoric, high-stakes negotiations, marketing campaigns, and everyday interpersonal interactions. The ability to access and subtly direct someone's subconscious without their awareness is an incredibly potent skill, one that should always be wielded with ethical responsibility. The ethics of influence. With great influence comes a profound responsibility. If you choose to delve into the realm of hypnosis and persuasion, it is imperative to utilize this knowledge with integrity. While manipulation may yield short-term gains, unethical use of these techniques will inevitably have consequences. Always strive to employ these strategies in ways that empower and support others rather than exploit them. The universe has a way of ensuring that whatever energy we put out ultimately returns to us. Hypnotic influence in everyday situations. Hypnosis does not solely revolve around inducing a deep trance. In fact, it is constantly at play in subtle ways throughout our daily conversations and interactions. If you have ever shifted your opinion due to the manner in which someone presented their argument, you have already experienced hypnotic influence firsthand. Effective hypnotic persuasion is not about exerting absolute control over another's mind, but rather about skillfully planting ideas and guiding thoughts in such a way that the person is unaware they are being influenced. The principle of reciprocity. A fundamental aspect of human psychology is the innate tendency to reciprocate positive actions. When someone does something beneficial for us, we feel a subconscious urge to return the favor. For example, if you wish to encourage someone to consider your perspective, begin by demonstrating a genuine interest in their thoughts. Ask, what do you think would be the best approach to solving this issue? By attentively listening and validating their viewpoint, you increase their receptiveness to your own suggestions. The power of progressive confirmation. When people agree to a series of small statements, they become more inclined to maintain consistency by agreeing to larger propositions later on. This occurs because the human mind naturally seeks to align with prior decisions. By skillfully applying these psychological principles, you can enhance your ability to influence, persuade, and connect with others in a meaningful way, all while remaining completely undetected in your methods. For example, during a negotiation, it can be beneficial to initiate the discussion with straightforward questions such as, would you agree that this product effectively addresses a significant issue? By doing so, you create a foundation of agreement before transitioning to more precise suggestions. A logical progression would be, considering that this solution is effective, it makes sense for you to give it serious consideration, doesn't it? If the individual has already affirmed the initial premise, they will naturally find it more challenging to backpedal. The hypnotic yes technique. This approach involves guiding someone into a state of continuous agreement by making self-evident statements that lead them towards accepting a specific suggestion. For instance, you might begin by stating, right now, you're listening to my voice, becoming aware of your surroundings. As they acknowledge this, you can continue. And as you focus on that, you may start recognizing how much sense this idea holds. Because the subconscious mind has already been conditioned to agree with the prior statements, it becomes easier for the person to accept the concluding proposition. The controlled alternative suggestion. When aiming to steer someone's decision, it is often more effective to present two choices, both of which are favorable to you. This tactic fosters the illusion of control while ensuring that either outcome aligns with your objective. Instead of posing an open-ended question like, do you want to purchase this? You could say, would you prefer the A model or the B model? The individual's attention is directed toward selecting between the provided alternatives rather than debating whether to accept the offer at all. The mirroring and empathy technique. Humans naturally gravitate towards those who exhibit similarities to themselves. By subtly mirroring another person's body language, vocal tone, and facial expressions, you establish an unconscious rapport, increasing the likelihood that they will be receptive to your ideas. Proficiency in these strategies enables you to exert influence over discussions and circumstances without others consciously realizing it. That being said, as with any skill that wields significant power, these methods should be employed ethically. Now, let's explore common obstacles and mistakes encountered when attempting to subtly hypnotize someone. Common barriers and mistakes in covert hypnosis. Despite employing effective strategies, many individuals struggle to successfully hypnotize someone without their awareness. This occurs due to inherent psychological barriers that may obstruct the absorption of suggestions. To truly excel in subtle hypnosis, you must recognize these hurdles and develop strategies to overcome them. 1. Lack of confidence in your own influence. The first, and perhaps most detrimental mistake, is a lack of belief in your ability to persuade others. If you doubt yourself, your target will pick up on that uncertainty and reject your influence. Hypnosis is built on authority and conviction. Hesitation or an unsteady voice will undermine the effectiveness of your approach. Solution: train yourself to project confidence in your speech, posture, and facial expressions. Speak assertively. Even if the individual does not fully comprehend the mechanics of what is occurring, they should sense your assurance and authority. 2. Attempting to hypnotize a resistant mind. Not everyone is equally suggestible. Some individuals possess a more analytical or skeptical mindset, making them naturally resistant to direct hypnotic techniques. If you attempt a straightforward suggestion with such individuals, they will likely dismiss it. Solution: employ indirect methods with skeptical individuals. Instead of instructing, "Relax now," phrase it as, "Many people find that taking a deep breath helps them relax without even noticing." This phrasing reduces resistance by avoiding the appearance of a direct order. 3. Disregarding the emotional state of the subject. If an individual is stressed, distracted, or anxious, their mind will not be sufficiently receptive to hypnotic suggestions. For hypnosis to be effective, the subject's mental state must be aligned with the process. Solution: before inducing a hypnotic state, shift the person's focus to a more relaxed or engaged state. Asking simple yet effective questions, such as, "Have you ever noticed how a particular song can instantly change your mood?" can begin shifting their attention towards a more receptive mental state. For providing unrealistic or overly drastic suggestions. Although the subconscious mind is open to suggestion, it instinctively rejects statements that are too extreme or inconsistent with the person's perception of reality. Solution: introduce suggestions incrementally. Rather than saying, "You are completely hypnotized now," guide them with subtle cues like, "You may start noticing how your eyelids feel heavier with every breath." This gradual approach helps the mind adapt to small changes, leading to a cumulative hypnotic effect. 5. Neglecting regular practice. Hypnosis is not merely a theoretical skill. Without consistent practice, you will struggle to develop natural fluency in its application. Solution: incorporate subtle hypnotic techniques into your daily interactions. Experiment with persuasive language patterns, observe responses, and refine your approach accordingly. The more you practice, the more seamless and effective your methods will become. Final thoughts. Now that you understand the fundamentals of covert hypnosis, you can appreciate its potential to enhance your communication, increase your persuasive ability, and influence how others perceive and respond to you. However, mere knowledge is insufficient. Only consistent application yields tangible results. The key difference between an average communicator and a highly persuasive individual lies in their willingness to apply these techniques in everyday conversations. Start observing how people react to different tones, words, and gestures. Implement small, subtle suggestions and analyze how the mind responds to hypnotic language structures. If you genuinely wish to master this skill, you must practice, experiment, and refine your techniques with each interaction. Always remember that with great power comes great responsibility. Use these methods to foster authentic connections, create positive influence, and add value to those around you. When applied with ethical intent, this ability can open new doors and profoundly impact your life. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these techniques are you most excited to try first? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's continue expanding our knowledge together. If you found this content valuable, pass it along to someone who might benefit from it as well. Keep exploring the incredible capabilities of the human mind. If you're eager to dive deeper into the secrets of the mind and learn how to leverage this knowledge to elevate your life, make sure to subscribe to the channel right now. Hit the notification bell so you never miss upcoming videos, and give this content a like if you found it useful. See you in the next video.